Adebisi had just finished teaching primary 5 at the village school. Sweat soaked her NYSC shirt as she walked home with her books. Suddenly she froze. On the narrow red road in front of her lay the sacred python. Adebisi dropped her books. Oh my God! She turned and ran as fast as she could, as if a shadow chased her. Her slippers flew off. She burst into the copper's house, panting and shaking. In Umueke Village, the python was not just an animal, it was a spirit, a messenger of the river goddess. The people believed the python brought blessings, protection, and fertility to the land. If you harmed it, you harmed the entire village. No one hurt the python. If a python was found dead, it was given a proper burial like a chief. There were drums, dancing, weeping, and prayers. That was the way of Umueke. Whenever a woman gave birth in Umueke, it was the custom to wait for a very special visitor, the sacred python, Eken Jaba. At night, as the baby slept in a small crib, the python would glide into the hut and coil beside the newborn child. The villagers were never afraid. They believed the python whispered blessings to the baby, welcoming the child into the world as one of their own. One afternoon, a group of NYSC corpers were sent to Umueke for their national service. Adebisi, Chijoke, Halima, Emeka and Mary stepped down from the bus. Their hearts were curious. The villagers welcomed them warmly. Some elders brought out hula nut. A stillness fell whenever anyone spoke about the sacred python. Adebisi rolled her eyes. Python? What are these people saying? How can a python be a spirit that guides us? She muttered under her breath. Chidoke nudged her gently. Let us respect their culture, Adebisi. They moved into a small mud and zinc house near the village square. Inside, the soft bleating of goats and the rustle of sleeping mats made the place feel alive. One evening, Adam Mary, the village priestess, invited them to the river at dusk. She told them how newborn babies were watched over by the spirit of the python, welcomed into life, guarded by wisdom and water. Chijoke listened with fascination. Adabisi only shrugged. This sounds like folk tales. How can a python protect a newborn baby? Later at night, Adabisi sighed with frustration. I have seen snakes in city markets. One nearly terrified me to death. Now I am told that a snake protects a baby. That is not true. Adamili passed by the open door, heard the words, and quietly stepped away. The wind moved softly. At that moment, Adebisi felt even more out of place. That night, as everyone slept, the priestess knelt to pray at her shrine. She whispered to the river goddess, protect them, teach them before their fears break them. The 5 corpers began to adjust to their new life, but Adebisi did not feel comfortable. Why is this place so far behind? She asked one morning. There is no electricity, no network, and now we are told about a spirit python. Chijoke always replied, relax, Adebisi. This is their culture. We cannot change it. We can only respect it. But Adebisi did not believe such things. Adamiri had a troubling dream. She saw a great python. Its eyes were full of tears. Blood flowed from its mouth. The land split open. The riverbed was dry. The sun burned hot. A voice said, someone with a hard heart will spill my blood. One day, before it is too late, she woke with fear in her chest. Very early the next morning, she went to the Igwe's palace. She knelt before him. Njaba has spoken. One of the strangers may harm our sacred python. We must warn them all. The Igwe called for a meeting. He sent a message to the Corper's lodge. The 5 sat quietly as the Igwe spoke. Our python is not like others. It is not to be feared. It is to be respected. We ask only one thing. Do not harm it when you see it. Chijoke nodded quickly. Yes, sir, we understand. But Adebisi folded her arms. All this for a snake. I am not afraid of it. That night, while they were eating garri and okra soup, a small girl ran past the house. She shouted, Mama said the python came near the mango tree today. The other couples looked at one another. Adebisi rolled her eyes. Let that snake come near me, she said coldly. I promise I will kill it. The compound fell silent. Halima looked at her with worries. Something had begun, but nobody knew how it would end. It was a hot afternoon in Umueke. The air was thick and still. Even the chickens hid under the shade. Adebisi had just finished teaching primary 5 and walked home with her books. She walked alone, humming softly, swinging her hand. Suddenly, she froze. On the narrow red road in front of her laid the sacred python. It was long, shining and deep brown, as thick as her wrist. Its body moved slowly and smoothly like water. Its tongue flicked in and out. Adebisi dropped her book. Oh my God! She turned and ran as fast as she could, as if a shadow chased her. Her slippers flew off. People nearby heard her screaming, Snake! A big snake! It is coming for me! She burst into the copper's house, panting and shaking. The others rushed to her side. Adebisi, what happened? Asked Mary. That python, Adebisi cried. It was lying there like a monster. Chijoke gave a nervous smile. So you met the sacred one, he said softly. It is not funny, she snapped. That thing could have beaten me. Chijoke spoke gently. It is not an ordinary snake, Adebisi. You know that already. Nobody touches it. It will not harm you. Halima nodded. Please, we must be careful. But Adebisi stood up angrily. I do not care what anyone says. A snake is a snake. Next time I see it, I will kill it. The room fell silent. Outside, the wind began to move. A dry leaf drifted in through the open window. Adamere was walking past the compound. She stopped. She looked towards the couple's house. Her eyes narrowed. She shook her head slowly and whispered, the heart that refuses to listen may one day break the land. She walked away. Inside, Adebisi sat on her bed, still breathing heavily. She did not notice the small boy peeking from behind the door. He had seen her fear. He had seen something else in the python's eyes. Later, he told his mother, the snake was not angry. It looked sad. That night, as the cricket sang and the village settled, the python moved quietly through the bushes. It attacked no one. It made no sound. It stopped for a moment under the mango tree outside the copper's lodge. Then it disappeared into the darkness. The land was still, but something was coming. Something no one could stop. The village was very quiet. Most people slept. But in the small hut of Adamere, the air grew heavy. She tossed and turned in her sleep. Suddenly she sat up. In her dream, she had seen the sacred python again. This time, the python's eyes were wide and full of sorrow. Blood ran slowly from its mouth onto the dry ground. The river was gone. The plants were brown and dry. The sky was red and hot. The python spoke with a voice like the wind. If my blood is spilled, the land will suffer. The water will dry. The children will cry. Warn them before it is too late. Adamere woke with her heart racing. At sunrise, she went back to the palace and told the Igwe everything. The Igwe's face grew stern. He called the elders for a meeting. They agreed to warn the coppers again. Messengers found the five at their house. The Igwe's words were firm. You must not harm the python. It is the guardian of our village and our children. If it is harmed, great trouble will come. Chijoke bowed his head. We understand. Mary looked anxious. Halima whispered, we must be very careful. Adebisi said nothing. Later, she told Emeka again, I do not believe in spirit stories. Women in the market murmured. The priestess had the dream again. The python is weeping, she told the elders. We must all pray and protect the sacred spirit. The village was tense but calm. That night, a soft sound moved outside the copper's house. A long shadow slid slowly by the mango tree. It was the python. It passed as if it were watching. Then it disappeared into the dark forest. Adebisi looked out her window, but saw nothing. She sighed and turned away, while the village kept watch in silence. At the lodge, Adebisi woke tired and angry. She did not believe in the sacred python of the priestess's dreams. This is foolish, she said, putting on her shoes. She told Chijoke, this place is full of superstition. I do not want to stay long. Chijoke shook his head. We must respect their ways. The python means much to them, but Adebisi only laughed without joy. One evening, Adebisi went to fetch water at the borehole. The sun was setting and the sky turned orange. Birds chirped. Women laughed as they balanced buckets on their head. Suddenly, they fell silent. There, by the mango tree, lay the sacred python. Children ran to their mothers. Some elders knelt and prayed. Adebisi's eyes narrowed. She remembered her fear and felt anger rise. She looked around. Nobody was doing anything. This must end today, she whispered. She picked a heavy stick. Chijioke, who had followed her, shouted, Adebisi, do not do that. But she swung the stick. Thwack! Thwack! The snake hissed and coiled. Thwack! Adebisi kept striking. Blood spattered onto the dusty ground. Silence spread through the crowd. The python lay still. The little boy who saw everything ran screaming, they have killed Eken Jabal. The drums beat. Women wailed. Within minutes, the entire village gathered. Old men carried the dead python carefully onto a mat. The Igwe arrived in full regalia. He looked at Adebisi with pain in his eyes. Why? He asked. She swallowed. It was dangerous. I had to kill it. Adamiri fell to the ground crying. You have killed our peace. You have killed our child. You have spilled blood that must not be spilled. That night, the elders met. The villagers gathered in silence. Lamps glowed in the country yard. Adamiri spoke. The python visited my dreams. It warned me. Now its blood cries for justice. Chijoke tried to speak for Adebisi. She did not understand. Please forgive her. The Igwe sighed. In our father's time, this crime meant death or exile, but we will choose mercy. He turned to Adebisi. You will perform the burial rites. You will marry the python in spirit. Only then will forgiveness come. Adebisi screamed, Marry a snake? I cannot. Emeka held her back. Please do not insult them again, he said gently. For 7 days, Adebisi stayed in the priestess's compound. She wore white clothes and ate only plain food. She cried each day. Villagers prepared the burial. Women wove a coffin from palm fronds. Hunters beat the slow drums of mourning. Children sang soft songs. On the 7th day, the whole village gathered by the sacred water, Jaba. Drummers played slow and sorrowful rhythms. The python's body, decorated with beads and feathers, lay in the coffin. The Igwe spoke. This is not a mere animal. This is Eken Jaba. This is our guardian, our brother, our sister, our child. May the river goddess receive it. Adamiri turned to Adebisi. You will now speak. Adebisi's eyes were swollen from weeping. She stepped forward. I am sorry. I did not know. I was foolish. I did not mean to kill the python. I mocked your ways. I refused to listen. Please forgive me. She placed kola nut on the coffin and poured libations of palm wine. She touched the python's head gently. I will be your wife in spirit. I will honor you all my life. I am sorry for what I did. If only I had listened. Finally, they carried the coffin to the water. Children threw flowers into the river. Women ululated as the python was lowered in. A gentle rain began to fall while the sun still shone. "Look!" someone shouted. A rainbow arced over the river. Adamiri smiled. "Njaba has forgiven us." The drums rose in quiet joy. After the rite, the villagers accepted BC again. She stayed to finish her service here, but her heart had changed. She taught the children respect, kindness, and patient listening. She showed them how to greet elders with warmth, how to share food and water with one another, and how to care for the plants and animals around them. She told stories of her own mistakes, encouraged the children to ask questions and to listen deeply before they spoke. Every afternoon, she and Chijioke gathered pupils under the mango tree near Njaba. They painted bright learning charts, planted little gardens, and cleaned the schoolyard together. Adebisi encouraged them to tell their own family stories and to sing the old songs they had learned from their grandparents. What had started as punishment became a calling. She began to bridge between the wisdom of the elders and the new ideas of the young generation. In the quiet evenings, Adebisi sat with Adamiri, the old priestess, to learn the ancient histories and proverbs of Umueke. She discovered that every dance, every river name, every shrine stone carried a lesson. Where once she saw only superstition, she now had a deep rhythm of belonging. When their service year ended, the five CORPERs, Adebisi, Chijioke, Halima, Emeka, and Mary, returned to the city. But Adebisi carried in her heart a story she would never forget. The gentle rain that fell on the day of Ekendiaba's burial felt to her like a covenant, a promise to live with reverence for every life, seen and unseen. Moral of the story: the journey of Adebisi teaches a truth as deep as Njaba itself. It is easy to fear what we do not know. Fear can harden into pride. Pride can harden into violence. Yet the world is woven together with mystery that keep life safe. Rivers that rise and fall with the seasons. Animals whose presence marks the health of the land. Old customs that hold memory and warning. When we rush to dismiss these things, we tear at the threads that keep communities alive. Respecting another culture is not weakness. It is the courage to say, "Teach me." It is the wisdom to pause before striking, to see that every belief, however strange at first, may carry the memory of survivor. What seems like a simple ritual can be a language of care between people and the earth. The story calls every listener to humility and slow understanding. It asks us to honor the elders who keep ancient knowledge and to guide children to listen with open hearts. It reminds us that reconciliation is possible. Adebisi's tears became a river of healing because she chose confession over stubbornness. Remember this: whenever you meet a custom you do not share, pause before judging, listen before speaking, learn before acting. For hidden inside every tradition is a wisdom that protects life and holds the peace of many generations. To respect these mysteries is to build friendship, to keep the waters flowing, and to hand the earth unbroken to those who will come after us. That is how the story of Adebisi and the Sacred Python of Umueke ends. A living reminder that understanding and reverence are stronger than fear, and that when we honor the unseen bond of creation, we keep the world whole. Thank you for listening to this story. What do you think about this true life story of the Njaba and the people of the Umueke village? If you haven't subscribed by this time, I don't know what you're waiting for. Please subscribe to this channel for more interesting and educative stories which we drop every week. Turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified when new stories are being dropped. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and please share this video for everybody, for your children to learn how to respect people's customs and traditions. See you in my next one. God bless you.